From OSBC Radio 104.5 FM, Voice of West Nigeria, it's time to join us for the news across the country.
From the nooks and crannies of this nation, OSBC brings you the news. News across the country.
Good evening and welcome to the news across the country. I am Olushayo Babatunde. Osho Governor meets President Buhari, lots him over Electoral Act. IGP retains 79 squadron commanders for tactical deployment for 2023 polls. 30 kidnapped victims rescued in Nasarawa. Man sets server ablaze in Ondo. Now the news in full. Osho State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke today met with President Muhammadu Buhari at the presidential Villa Abuja, first since he was inaugurated in November last year. After the meeting in the president's office, he told correspondents that it was at the seat of power to greet the president and thank him for signing the Electoral Act, which enabled him to be elected as governor. While noting that President Buhari was looking healthy and nice, Governor Adeleke, who was elected under the ticket of the main opposition People's Democratic Party (PDP), said the president's action paved the way for a free and fair elections in Osun State. He stated how Nigerians and the international community had applauded the conduct of the exercise. Asked what he came to do in the villa, Governor Adeleke said the visits to the villa would also provide him the opportunity to discuss other issues of federal assistance with the Chief of Staff to the President, Professor Ibrahim Gambari. And Governor of Osun State, Senator Ademola Adeleke, has assured the teeming populace that his government will base on the principle of fairness to all in obeying the rule of law. Senator Adeleke said that these while addressing some ministries and government agencies in the state. Deputy Governor's correspondent Sahid Adeboje has the story.
For several hours, the Deputy Governor, Prince Kola Adewusi, and members of the committee put in place to set the foot of the state on the right path, attended to various government agencies and ministries, addressing the leadership of the Ministry of Culture and Tourism, led by the Coordinating Director, Mrs. Sholabu Meduroladipo. The Deputy Governor, Prince Kola Adewusi, appreciated the work done by the ministry, but ordered that the Traditional Welfare Board be established in order not to marginalize practitioners of traditional religion. According to him, since the Christian and Muslim welfare boards exist, it is expedient to create the Traditional Board to cater for the interest of the traditional worshippers, just as he did while addressing the Ministry of Culture and Tourism. The Deputy Governor, while speaking with the leadership of the Bureau of Social Services, led by Mr. Oluwole Ajewole, urged them to ensure that the superficial work assigned to them are done on the basis of fairness and not monetarily influenced. Prince Adesanya Olopade led the leadership of Osun Microcredit Agency. At the briefing, he intimated members of the committee on the activities of the agency, which he said includes awarding loans to individuals, cooperative groups, and small and medium-scale businesses. Responding, the Deputy Governor, Prince Kola Adewusi, appreciated the leadership of the agency for not incurring bad debt since its creation. He assured that the present administration will support the agency in its bid to making life more bearable for an average Osun indigene. From the office of the Deputy Governor, this is Saeed Adeboje reporting.
The Nigerian printers under the Chartered Institute of Professional Printers of Nigeria had threatened to drag the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) to court for allegedly printing a large chunk of its electoral materials overseas, describing it as a violation of the Institute's Act 24 of 2007 of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. The Council is charged with the duty of regulating, controlling, managing, and administration of printers, the business of printing, and other printing-related matters in the country. Speaking in an interview with newsmen, the president of SEPON, Mr. Olugbemi Malomo, admitted that the electoral body had been awarding printing jobs to local printers, but he insisted that outsourcing contracting printing contracts of foreign firms was a violation of the law. Mr. Maloma explained that by law, INEC was obligated to award the printing of all electoral materials, including ballot papers, to local printers through SIPON. Meanwhile, INEC says an oath of loyalty and neutrality will be administered to all policemen and other security personnel that will be deployed in the next month's general election, in line with the Electoral Act 2022. Google has unveiled a new portal to support the 2023 presidential elections, the Nigeria Elections Trend Hub. Google's Communications and Public Affairs Manager for West Africa, Taiwo Kola Ogunlade, says the hub will provide a platform for Nigerians to search and discover trending interests related to the presidential and vice presidential candidates, parties, and issues through the lens of Google Trends. The page, which can be accessed on the Google Trend website, https://google/Nigeria Election Trends, allows users to compare the search popularity of the presidential candidates and trending questions about them. It was gathered that the portal features maps and graphs displaying the search interest for the candidates over a period of 30 days, as part of a broader initiative by Google to support the 2023 elections in the country. It also includes training for new and mid-year publishers on how to effectively use YouTube to tell election stories, and training from the Google News Lab to help journalists learn how to use search and other Google tools for better storytelling, including data visualization, verification, and fact-checking. The Nigeria Elections Trends Hub will help voters make more informed decisions at the polls and have a greater voice in the political process. Following the insecurity that has enveloped some parts of the country ahead of the general elections, the Inspector General of Police, IGP Ismail Akali, has commenced a 2-week fully residential refresher training for 79 squadron commanders of the Nigeria Police Mobile Force at the Police Mobile Force Training College, Ilorin, Osun State. According to a statement today by the First Public Relations Officer, CSB Olumoyiwa Adejobi, the training program is also geared at strengthening the operational efficiency of the squadron commanders and some more effective tactical deployment of their personnel to ensure a secure and hitch-free environment before, during, and after the 2023 general elections. The development, they said, will generally reduce crimes to the barest minimum in the country. CSP Adejobi quoted the IGP as charging officers and men of the Police Mobile Force (PMF), the punching arm of the force, to effectively make use of the opportunities the training would offer them and improve their crime control mechanism and general safety strategies, especially towards having free, fair, and credible 2023 general elections. The IGP had recently met with representatives of the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime, UNODC, and the Bureau of the International Narcotics and Law Enforcement Affairs to discuss possible areas of partnership to strengthen the oversight and accountability mechanisms of the Nigeria Police Force, including the Complaints Response Unit (CRU) and the Provost Department of the Force. The first spokesperson said the meeting discussed synergy between the foreign agencies, the Police Reform and Transformation Office, the Office of the President, and the police to improve the policing system in Nigeria and handle disciplinary matters judiciously. No fewer than 30 kidnapped victims held hostage in the total local government area of Nasarawa State have been rescued today following a joint operation by officers of the State Police Command in collaboration with Miyeti Allah vigilante group in the area. The command's police populations officer, Ramban Nansel, disclosed that the 30 kidnapped victims, comprising of 20 males and 10 females, were rescued unhurt and taken to the hospital for medical examination and shall be reunited with their family after a briefing. It was learned that suspected kidnappers were sighted at Sadauna Forest of total local government area, Nasarawa State, where they held victims hostage, following which they were, however, trailed to their enclave as a Sadauna Forest. And on sighting the operatives, the criminals dispersed in disarray deep into the forest. The police maker noted that the Commissioner of Police, Meyaki Baba, has applauded the courageous efforts of the police operatives and Miyati Allah Vigilante Group for a job well done and ordered the continuous combing of all the bushes and forests across the 13 local government areas of the state. Meanwhile, the Anambra State Police Command has arrested 3 suspected cultists and recovered 2 locally made pistols, live ammunition, and 1 motorcycle, among others. It was gathered that the suspects were among members of the Viking confraternity who had been involved in cult-related killings in Nkpo, Obosi community of the state. They were also actively involved in the cult attack that led to the murder of one Chimeli Udemba on December 1st last year and Ikenna Nwagbulu on the 14th of the same month in Obosi. In a statement today, the State Police Command spokesperson Tochukwu Ikenga said the commissioner had ordered area commanders, divisional police officers, and commanders of tactical operational units and formations to embark on aggressive crime prevention and visibility patrols in their areas of responsibility. According to him, the plan shall enhance adequately already policing strategy put in place that is reportedly and dynamic to respond to any emergency and security concerns and prevent untold activities by criminal elements. Herdsmen have reportedly destroyed 30 hectares of cassava farm at Igbaroke in the Federal Council area of Ondo State. The cassava farmland, estimated at over 10 million naira, belongs to the former Information and Orientation Commissioner in the state and former National Vice Chairman Towels of the PDP, Dr. Eddie Olafeso. Dr. Olafeso, who was close to tears when he spoke with newsmen in Akure, lamented the destruction of his farm. His farm manager, Atiola Ariyo, while narrating his ordeal, claimed that the 30 hectares of cassava farm were destroyed by the cows brought by the herdsmen, and then that the herdsmen uprooted the whole cassava for their cows to feed on. He explained that workers on the farms concluded the weeding of the farm after spending about 600,000 naira before going for Christmas break, only to return to find the entire farmland destroyed, noting that they discovered traces of the footprints of the cows and the herdsmen at the farm. Tario said the colossal damage done on the farm by the herdsmen and their cows affected the health of his principal. Youths of Nowa Udeme community in Thai local government area of River State have discovered a crude oil tapping point on the Trans-Niger Delta pipeline operated by the Shell Petroleum Development Company of Nigeria Limited. The Executive Director, Youth and Environmental Advocacy Center, Fine Face Donamene, who confirmed the discovery, said the tap was discovered by youths working as pipeline surveillance contractors. Speaking at the site during an observation tour of the discovery site along with other stakeholders, Donamene revealed that the tap point is capable of loading 2 tankers of the 3,000 liters. It is known that Shell was at the site for observation and it is taking steps to remove the tapping on the pipe to forestall further damage. State Governor Arakwero Timakedulu has suspended the chairman, Governing Council of Rufus Giwa Polytechnic, Owo, Mr. Banji Alabi, following the report of the visitation panel to the institution. The governor announced the suspension while receiving the report of the 7-member panel to the Polytechnic. It was gathered that Alabi allegedly refused to honor the invitation of the panel on several occasions. Receiving the report at the governor's office, Alagbaga Arakwero Timakedulu appreciated all members of the panel for their labor with a promise to look into the report. Timakedulu expressed worry over what he called the downward slide being observed in the Polytechnic, said the report will guide the government on what to do. Submitting the panel's report to the governor, the chairman, Professor Labode Koriko, applauded the governor for releasing about 1.6 billion naira bailout to the Polytechnic, and then the commitment of the governor to reposition the Polytechnic and restore its lost glory was laudable. This is the news across the country coming to you from Osun State Broadcasting Corporation, Voice of the West Nigeria. Now I made this message. Never give up on your dream. Be optimistic that tomorrow is going to be better. No condition is permanent. Nigerians have been called upon to always remind themselves of the ageless saying that health is wealth, and so be ready to take care of themselves regularly. The Chief Medical Director of World Specialist Hospital at Compelli Osogbo, Dr. Daniel Olaoshibiko, gave the advice when Association of Veteran Journalists in the state paid him a custom visit in his hospital as part of the association's visitation to elder statesmen in the state. The renowned surgeon said his New Year message to his fellow countrymen and women is for them not to see hospitals as a facility or place for the sick, adding that those who think they are healthy see need to check on their health condition regularly to avoid the unexpected. The medical experts suggested to everyone above 45 years to make it a duty to go for medical checkups at least 2 times in a year, stressing that these will assure them of a healthy living, just as he called on his visitors who are all retirees to take their health issues with all seriousness. Responding, the new chairman of the Association of Veteran Journalists in the state, Prince Adekpojo Atobatele, commended the octogenarian medical expert for his high sense of giving back to the community, as exemplified by rehabilitating the public road that leads to his hospital, calling on all who are privileged to follow the spirit of community development Dr. Daniel Olaoshibiko has done. Meanwhile, the Association of Veteran Journalists in the state now has a new executive to run its affairs for the next 3 years. The new ESCO that was selected last month was sworn in during the association's January meeting held in Osogbo. It has Prince Adekpoju Atobatele as chairman and Olushola Ajiboye as secretary. Adetoye Sheshitualam retained his place as the image maker of the Association of Veteran Journalists in Osun State. Online shopping is the process of buying goods and services from merchants over the internet. Individuals these days make use of online stores to cater for their shopping needs. Fashion News today focuses on the advantages and disadvantages of shopping for fashion items online. Let's join Daniel Wikire for more information.
Online shopping is a form of electronic transaction which allows consumers to directly buy goods or services from a seller over the internet using a web browser or a mobile application. Due to new and growing technology, shopping for fashion items online has become incredibly easy and convenient. It also offers greater selections than in-person stores, opening a wider range of products and services that may not be available in physical stores. While online shopping comes with a number of benefits, there are also various drawbacks to know about as well. There are various advantages and disadvantages to shopping for fashion items online. Using your computer or mobile devices for our fashion shopping needs can be convenient, offers more options, and provide insights an individual might not find in person at a store. One of the benefits of shopping for fashion items online is its convenience. Through the digital space, an individual can buy anything they want from the comfort of their homes. Since most online stores are open 24/7 and easily accessible with internet access. Another advantage of online shopping is that it allows for greater selection of a wide range of products and services. Because products online live within the digital space, online retailers are not restricted to shelves and often have more inventory on hand with wider selection of products, which leads to more sales and profits. Online fashion shopping helps consumers to have easy access to information. When shopping online, you will often find more details about businesses' products than you would get in a physical store. An individual can go through product descriptions as well as reviews from other shoppers in order to make a more informed purchasing decision. One of the disadvantages of shopping for fashion items online is the increased risk in fraud. Online shopping has brought about an increase in scam activities in which some online scammers pretend to be legitimate buyers with the aim of carrying out fraudulent activities, which makes individuals to be wary of carrying out their shopping online. Another disadvantage of shopping for fashion items online is that it leads to longer wait times. When you walk into a physical or in-person store, you can walk away with your product after purchase and use it right away, while online stores compels you to wait for a long period of time for the order to arrive. In order to make the most of shopping for one's fashion item online, an individual must know which product to buy online and get the best deals from a wide range of vendors or online retail stores, and also check out and read reviews on the retailer's website to find out if the retailer or store is legitimate and whether there may be any potential issues with the product you are about to purchase. OSBC Fashion News saw the opinion of Oreoluwa Bayewu, an online store owner, who said that it makes sure to sell quality items to customers, thereby building trust.
Alright, as an online fashion vendor, I ensure ease and convenience for my customers. First, let me even start by saying, generally, people want easy, accessible, and convenient shopping experiences on their mobile devices. They want to shop within their moment of discovery. That is saying they see it, they like it, they want to purchase it. So, we as vendors, we make that easy for them by providing excellent customer services, by responding quickly to questions, orders, and concerns about the items we sell as vendors. And also, we make sure we sell credible items, that is very high quality items.
While speaking with Mona Lisa Ogbebo, a fashion designer, she said online shopping creates ease and convenience for a business.
Okay, so me for one, I'm a fashion designer, and the internet has really helped in terms of shopping for my fabrics, where I don't have to go to the markets or be on a long queue to get a particular fabric. So I just have to make orders online with the internet to get my fabrics across to me. And also in selection of styles that maybe my clients are not closer to my locations, they get to pick whatever styles they want. They send me the pictures. I also make it for them and get them delivered to them through courier services.
Due to the rapid growth of technology, fashion business organizations have switched over from the traditional method of selling goods and services through electronic methods, using the internet as a main vehicle to conduct commercial transactions. Daniel Ekwere for OSBC Fashion News.
The body of an unidentified adult male who drowned while riding on a jet ski at the Lekki Ikoyi Inland Waterways in Lagos State has been recovered today. The General Manager Lagos State Waterways Authority, Oluwadamilola Emmanuel, told newsmen that the body was recovered by local divers. It will be recalled that the Permanent Secretary of the Lagos State Emergency Management Agency, Olufemi Oke Osanyintolu, said in a statement, "This looks that the victim drowned as a result of speeding, adding that the body had sunk deep into the sea." Emmanuel, however, said the local divers contacted emergency responders immediately after the body was found. The last wire burst said the identity of the deceased was not yet ascertained before it was taken to the Marine Police. The Lagos Police Command has not released any official statement on the incident. A 50-year-old man, Ojo Ogundeji, has allegedly set himself ablaze, thereby raising his father's house in Olorontedo area of Ondo West local government area of Ondo State. A witness, Mrs. Sabina Ogundeji, said the deceased locked himself inside a room and lit a fire. It was gathered that he told his rescuers before he died that he committed the act because he was being mocked about his living condition. He was said to have returned from Lagos State to celebrate Christmas and New Year holidays with his family. It was cries from his room that attracted people, but he died minutes after he was taken to the hospital. Some police at the Enowa division confirmed that the incident was reported, but the Ondo State Police Command had not yet reacted. Now talking sports, Morocco has pulled out of the Championship of African Nations football tournament, which kicked off today in Algeria. Adeyemi Abodere is standing by for details of these and many more on today's edition of Sports Segment.
Àjọ tó ń ṣàmójútó eré
The Nigerian Football Federation has described the 2022 Women's African Cup of Nations fourth-place finish by the Super Falcons as a disaster. The Super Falcons played 6 matches at the 2022 tournament in Morocco, winning 3 and losing the 3 others, including third-place match defeat against Zambia. 5 months after the Federation believes the team's performance at the Pioneer tournament was disappointing, though the team finished in 4th place, thereby picking the last automatic ticket from Africa to Australia and New Zealand. Nigerians saw it as a disappointing outing. For a team that had won 9 of the previous 11 editions of the competition, losing 3 out of its 6 matches in Morocco was seen as a great disaster. Meanwhile, FIFA President Gianni Infantino has arrived in Algeria ahead of the opener of the 2023 African Nations Football Championship at the pit host Algeria against Libya at the Nelson Mandela Stadium in Algiers. The FIFA's Supremo expressed delight after arriving in the North African nation. The CHAN, Africa's second nation's flagship tournament reserved solely for players flying their trade in their domestic championship. 2023 CHAN in Algeria will be the first event that will see 18 players rival for the continental recognitions after the number of participants was increased from 16 to 18. The CHAN, which is in its 7th edition, was last won by Morocco in 2021 in Cameroon. While the defending champions of CHAN, Morocco, has pulled out of the 2023 African Nation Championship, which started in Algeria today over diplomatic misunderstanding with host nation Algeria. Morocco had late last year threatened not to participate in the tournament, which they have won back-to-back following Algeria's refusal to grant the team direct flight into Algeria. Host Algeria refused Morocco demands for a direct flight from Rabat to Constantine, where their group matches were to be held. Due to the tense diplomatic relations between the two countries, cut diplomatic ties in August 2021, after which they closed the airspace with all direct flight between them suspended. The Atlas Lion had been pulled in Group C alongside Ghana, Madagascar and Sudan, and their withdrawal complicates matters for CAF, who will have to do without one of the star teams at the tournament. The North Africans are likely to face sanctions from CAF following their late withdrawal. In the meantime, ahead of next month's African Under-20 Cup of Nations, host Egypt are sweating over the threat Nigeria and Senegal pose to their chances of qualifying from the group. The 2023 Under-20 African Cup of Nations tournament will be played in Egypt between February 19 and March 11, with the top 4 teams qualifying for the Under-20 World Cup in Indonesia. The Young Pharaohs are drawn in Group A alongside Nigeria, Senegal and Mozambique, and are aiming to lift first continental title since 2013. Action continues in the ongoing World Table Tennis Contender in Durban, South Africa, and it was a good outing for Nigeria's sensation Haruna Quadri. The African champion were drawn against a tough Chinese opponent, Sun Wen, but Haruna did enough to defeat his opponent and move to the round of 16. Haruna won 3-1 over the Chinese. Sport Update returns tomorrow. My name is Adeyemi Abode.
To end the news across the country, here again are the major points. Osun State Governor Senator Ademola Adeleke today met with President Muhammadu Buhari at the presidential villa, first since he was inaugurated in October last year, thanking him for signing the Electoral Act which enabled him to be elected as governor. Following the insecurity that has enveloped some parts of the country ahead of the general elections, the Inspector General of Police Usman Akali has commenced a 2-week fully residential refreshing training for 79 squadron commanders of the Nigerian Police Mobile Force at the Police Mobile Force Training College in Lawrence, Washington State. In no fewer than 30 kidnapped victims held hostage in total local government area of Nasarawa State have been rescued today following a joint operation by officers of the State Police Command in collaboration with Miyetti Allah Vigilante Group in the area. We also reported that a 50-year-old man, Ojo Mudeji, has allegedly set himself ablaze, thereby raising his father's house in Oloronche, the area of Ondo West local government area of Ondo State. And that was the news across the country, has put together by Latif Ogola and delivered by Olushayo Babatinde. Thanks for listening. Good evening.
It's entertaining. It's educating. Really informative, qualitative news as it breaks. It's OSBC Radio 2, 104.5 FM.